Right. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? And how is y'all mind? Happy New Year. What's going on with y'all? I missed y'all. What is up? How is y'all New Year starting off, y'all? So, look. I got a secret. I gotta tell y'all the truth. So, I lied. And I don't even know if I ever posted the video I was supposed to post about this, but if I did, then it's just gonna be a repeat, because guess what? I fell again. So when I fall, what I'm talking about is when I fall and I get drunk, I should not be, the scripture already says, okay? All right? We're not supposed to be getting drunk. Now, God made wine, we get it. You can have little sips or whatever like that, but I kind of know exactly why, like, some people be like, oh, you still drink? Because when it's something like, see, this was something, I guess, basically, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, it was a desire. It was a desire. It was in my bloodline. My grandparents, both my grandparents, both my grandparents, I should say both my grandfathers and both my mother and my father had an issue with this, right? So, and I had been doing good. I was fighting it and all this other stuff. But y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I spent Christmas by myself because I just didn't feel like being bothered. I already had back issues, but I didn't want to be around family that we was gonna get into an argument. You know what I'm saying? I love my family to death, but sometimes it's just not always peaches and cream, and I get it, but it's just like, can we just be like regular, like be thankful, be grateful, and just let's keep it moving? Like, why we gotta be so negative sometimes? And I didn't feel like doing that. But then New Year's came, and it's like, it was just like a bump in my face. Like, the enemy was working on me overtime, y'all, and myself, I was working on myself overtime, because I was just like kind of going in, and it wasn't about, like, I wasn't even worried about like past issues. I was just worried about, like, I don't know, like, I tell y'all all this time, all the time, I said all this time, I tell you all the time that the things that I'm going through, I'm talking about, but also things I've been through, I can talk about, because some things you overcome. You get what I'm saying? When I say I don't drink and smoke no more, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about shorty was a straight. I didn't drink in the morning, but you might as well say I was an alcoholic, because I was drinking every day, and I was drinking a lot. And then I turned to smoking. It was like, you know, either one or the other. And then I thought I had found balance or whatever like that, and that was a lie. And then when I started to walk with God, I had to let go of all those things. But they, you know, because that's something that was a desire of mine, I'm not all the way over it. But the crazy part about it is, y'all, when I was doing it, it didn't feel the same way. I wasn't like how I would get a high or be happy about it. I was like, I don't have no business doing this. This is not even doing nothing. This is not making, this is not even solving the issue. Like, usually, like, sometimes you turn to those things because it's an escape mode or whatever like that. And I was just doing it like, oh, okay, this is the last year. Let me just go ahead. I'm not gonna do this next year. Like, just being stupid, giving myself excuses to do things. And it wasn't worth it, because then I got into a mental funk, almost a depression state of mind, because I was already not that happy in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I even did it. So it's like, I get we're not gonna be perfect, and I'm sharing this with y'all because, one, the enemy not gonna keep using this against me. We ain't about to do that. We ain't doing this in 2023. Two, I want to let y'all know, I am not perfect. I said real moves for a reason. We're going to go through real things together. I'm going to share parts of me that I was shy about before, that I didn't want to share because it's raining. Not because it's raining, I'm sorry, y'all. Because I wasn't happy with myself. I was embarrassed. You know, the enemy told me, like, the enemy had me, you know, sitting here yeah, like a lot of us be worried and concerned about what everybody else think about us, even though we want to claim that we don't, but we do. And the enemy had me on a chokehold with that. So it's like almost like if I don't want to record if I didn't look a certain type of way, or I didn't want to show this and I don't want to show that. And God, in the last, when he told me that first time, and I had to, this is how I snapped myself. Let me put it like that, because I'm not about to sit here and take credit for nothing, because I didn't do it. God really showed me, like, what are 2 things that you really said that you wanted to focus on in 2022? And I was like, my YouTube page and building content. He was like, did you not? I said, I did. He said, you wanted to go back to doing the podcast. Did you not? Even though I told you to start it when I told you to start it, and I had gave you a name and I had to give it to somebody else because you was playing around. Didn't you start that podcast? I said, yeah. He said, didn't you learn how to control your emotions and not let them lead you? Yeah. He had to go through the stuff that had me, like, I forgot how far God had took me and what he had took me through, because sometimes we get so caught up into the next destination or where we at currently that we keep forgetting what, like, the only time that we should look back is when we use this review, you know, that rear view mirror, just to check back real quick so you won't hit nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like, just to look back real quick and be like, all right, I'm not doing that no more. That's fine. But then also to be like, dang, I am being successful, because look where I was at 3 months ago. Look where I was at a year ago. Look where I was at. Like, sometimes we need to be able to reflect back on certain things, and in that moment, in that space, that's not what I was doing. I was so, and the funny part about it is I was so caught up into family at that moment, and I hadn't been like that in a long time. So it was like, it was weird, because it's normally something else. It's something to do with like my job or you know, my passion or something like that. Everything had to do with family. And God said, so if I did all of this with that, and that's what you gave me, and no, we're not to the final destination. You still got more stuff to go. So I'm not tapping you out. You're going to tap back in. And if I did all of that, why you don't think I could do all of that with the family too? You forgetting. But this is going to take time, because it ain't just you I'm working with. See, sometimes we get so caught up and forget when it comes to other people, when it comes to the community, it's not just about us. So when he's working something through the storm, remember there's other people that he got to connect to too. And a lot of us is stubborn. Okay, so think about it. If you already stubborn and you praying for somebody, they probably just as stubborn as you, if not more. So you got to be patient. And I had got caught up in that moment, and I allowed the enemy to use one of my weaknesses against me. So I said, I already had this. That was already, I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad that God allowed it, because I already said in 2023 I don't have no need or no, like I said, the desire was there, but like I really don't be like, I be in bad habits. I told you I'd be like, I need a drink, because that's what I used to say. But I really don't be needing a drink, because I could go home and go to sleep peacefully. When there was times where I couldn't even, that's why I needed a drink, because my mind, well, I felt like I didn't need a drink, but the lie of the enemy was that I needed a drink so I could sleep peacefully. Now, mind you, drinking causes so many health issues, and it disturbs your sleep. People be thinking that they are sleeping even more because you're passed out. You're not sleeping. You're not resting. You're not, and that's why you wake up and you feel the way you feel. And like the next day, I didn't feel no type of way. I didn't get that to that extent, but I got more to my liking. I'd rather be buzzed than anything, but I don't want to be nothing now. I want to just walk with God. Like that's my decision. I want to walk with God. I don't want to drink. I don't want to have any outside influences that causes me to do anything. So if I'm boring because I don't drink, I don't care what the world labels me as. I want to be healthy, and I want to be the better version of myself. And on top of that, because there is a bloodline of alcoholism, a curse of that in my family, I don't need to entertain any type of alcohol. So that could be going. I'm not going to no, I decided already. At one point, I felt like I was missing out on something. I don't care. I'm not going to clubs. I'm not going to bars. I'm not doing that. I haven't been doing that in a long time. I've been going to restaurants and they had bars, but I'm not doing it. It's going to be iced tea and water for me. But I wanted to be transparent with y'all because I'm not perfect by any means necessary. Like, I got a lot of stuff that I need to work on. But my passion is to talk and encourage and motivate and inspire others. Like, you know what I'm saying? As we're going through this thing called life, because it's a lot of stuff in this world. You know what I'm saying? And I know I've experienced a lot of jealousy. I've experienced, and I'm not talking about what people, I'm talking about how I felt. And being envy of stuff for no reason and all type of stuff. Like, you don't need to be that way, because you were made. I was listening to a motivational speech and they literally said you was chosen out of how many sperms. I know that's a lot because we don't get into that, but we're going to. You was chosen out of how many sperms? Child. It don't matter if your mother or your daddy didn't choose you, and that's where I was trying to like get at a little bit when I was having a conversation, but I wasn't able to articulate that, because I'm gonna be honest, the enemy used the neglect of my parents for a very long time. Like, I tell y'all this all the time, I did not have a relationship with my father. I still barely do now. Like, it's better than what it was before, but it still has a lot of work to do. And then on top of that, my relationship with my mom was not an affectionate type woman. She told me I didn't want to raise no soft female, put it like that. So she took away certain emotions from the relationship, because I don't know, her trauma, the things that she went through, I don't know what was going on in her mind, but like, I didn't have that affection, I didn't have that nurturing. So in that moment of me feeling all types of, during the new year, was because I don't have parents that I could call on and talk to and vent to. I don't have that kind of relationship. And the enemy used that to me, but then our spiritual father had to step in and was like, you don't have them physically, but you have them spiritually, and don't ever think that you're not loved or cared about and that you're not wanted, okay? At the end of the day, yes, these people don't know how to show love properly. They are human, but I'm sending you the family that you've been praying for. So I know that for a fact. It's coming. It's just that I have to be patient, but also too, it's sad because it's like, geez Louise, 30-something years old. I want to be talking to my parents, but it's a weird situation. I'm gonna get into it probably on a podcast this week, but because I feel like I need to talk about that a little bit more. But y'all have a blessed day. This was a long video. That's because it's the beginning of the new year. But y'all about to get, it's raining. Y'all about to get a ton of stuff, okay? Y'all about to get some real live stuff. I don't care. Thank y'all for all the ones that's following me, giving me feedback, and just building our relationship in our community. So I love you guys. Happy New Year, and talk to you soon.